Why do supervillains always lose? Seriously, think about it, every single time. Thanos? He snapped his fingers, thought he won, and then got his purple chin punched into next week. Loki? He's basically the god of getting captured. And Magneto? Well, you know how that goes, it's the same old story. Is it just a string of terrible luck? Is it consistently poor planning? Or could it be that science itself is conspiring against these evil masterminds? Today, on SciNex, we are pulling back the curtain and exposing the physics, the psychology, and the biology behind why villains never, ever win. Prepare to see heroic triumphs explained by cold, hard science and discover exactly why you would fail spectacularly if you ever tried a life of villainy yourself. Let's kick things off with the gadgets. Villains absolutely love their over-the-top machines. We're talking about giant lasers that orbit the Earth, city-destroying robots, or creepy mind control devices. And what do they all have in common? They always out-fail short-circuit at the most critical moment. Let's do a quick science check. First up, energy efficiency. Every one of those giant death rays would require an absolutely insane amount of energy. We're talking power grids for entire nations just to fire one shot. The immediate result? Systems would overheat, circuits would fry, and the whole thing would go up in a puff of smoke. Then there's the simple mechanics of it all. Think about those giant swinging pendulums or crushing walls you see in layers. All it takes is for one henchman to trip and step on the wrong button, and the trap becomes a self-destruct sequence. The realistic probability of failure for these complex, untested machines isn't small, it's practically guaranteed. We're talking a 99.9% chance of catastrophic breakdown. Basically, a villain's lab is just one tangled spaghetti wire away from total disaster. Even a genius like Tony Stark wouldn't touch that setup with a 10-foot pole. Now, let's turn the spotlight on the villain themselves. Psychology explains a massive part of their downfall. First, there's the crippling overconfidence. They genuinely believe their plan is flawless and that nothing can possibly go wrong. This leads directly to poor situational awareness. They're so busy admiring their own genius that they completely ignore the heroes sneaking up behind them. And of course, the fatal classic mistake: arrogance. They just have to stop everything mid-battle to deliver a long, dramatic monologue explaining their entire evil scheme. From a scientific perspective, this is a recipe for disaster. It's called cognitive overload. The human brain simply cannot process all the moving parts of a complex battle while also delivering a speech. Then there's the stress response. When you're in a high-stakes fight, your body is flooded with cortisol. This stress hormone severely impairs judgment and rational thinking. And finally, reaction time. Heroes train relentlessly for split-second decisions. Villains ... Well, they mostly practice their evil laugh in the mirror. So if you try to build a death ray while explaining your tragic backstory to the person trying to stop you, congratulations, you're absolutely doomed. And physics just keeps coming back to haunt them. Most villain lairs are comically impractical. Hiding out in a volcano? The extreme heat would cause constant metal fatigue and stress on every structure, not to mention the ever-present risk of a sudden fiery collapse. An ice castle? Ice is an incredibly brittle material, and have you ever tried running on a slippery floor while fighting for your life? And don't even get me started on space stations. You're dealing with orbital mechanics, life support systems, and the vacuum of space. That's not a secret base. It's a 24/7 disaster waiting to happen. Let's take a chase scene. Basic principles like gravity, friction, and energy transfer mean that most of the high-speed pursuits we see on screen would instantly kill someone in real life. Even something as simple as Spider-Man swinging through a city would generate enough force to decimate a villain's poorly constructed infrastructure. So yes, the environment itself conspires with physics against these evil geniuses. Mother Nature and Isaac Newton are the ultimate superhero allies. Alright, let's talk battle strategy, or the lack thereof. Villains consistently fail because heroes optimize variables that villains completely ignore. First, coordination. Heroes communicate, they work as a team, and they cover each other's weaknesses. Villains? They're lone wolves who trust no one, not even their own minions. Next is timing. Heroes are masters of striking at the most critical moment of vulnerability, often right when the villain is gloating. And redundancy. Villains almost never have a backup plan. Plan A is so perfect in their minds that they never even consider a plan B. Now for the science twist. We can analyze this using game theory. Every villain's plan, no matter how complex, can be modeled. And once it's modeled, its weaknesses can be ruthlessly exploited by a more flexible opponent. Then there's probability. Each step in an evil plan adds another chance for failure. The more complicated the scheme, the more likely it is to fall apart. And finally, network theory. The hero's adaptive, interconnected network will always outperform the isolated, rigid plan of a single villain. The translation is simple. No matter how clever your laser is or how big your robot army might be, the odds are fundamentally stacked against you by math, physics, and basic common sense. Let's simulate a realistic scenario. The villain stands atop their fortress, ready to fire their massive energy weapon at the city. The hero, using their agility and a keen understanding of physics, reacts and dodges the initial blast. Suddenly, mid-battle, the villain's super gadget fails. It could be overheating from the energy output, or maybe a crucial gear snaps under the tension. At the same time, environmental factors intervene. The volcano rumbles, and a new lava flow cuts off the villain's escape route. The floor of the ice castle cracks and gives way. Even if you manage to ignore morality, biology, and psychology, your evil plan would still collapse in the most epic cinematic fashion. Spoiler alert. This is why the heroes always win. So supervillains fail because of a perfect storm of science, psychology, and just plain bad luck. Their overconfidence blinds them, their flawed gadgets betray them, and the unforgiving laws of nature make them vulnerable at every single turn. The next time you're watching a movie and the villain starts their big monologue, just remember, in real life, the universe itself would have crushed them in seconds. If you survived this masterclass in villain science, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button for SciNex. Join our mission to uncover the science behind your favorite movies, myths, and heroes. Because sometimes the laws of physics are the ultimate superhero. Thanks for watching.